Hello you lot, welcome back, nice to see yous. Now today I thought I'd take a bit of a sidestep, or rather a playful skip, into the other realms of the paranormal. Now there's many other aspects of the paranormal that we could cover on this channel, and there's so much interesting stuff out there to get a hold of. I think it's crazy to not include some of it on the channel with some additional extra videos. And this is what I'm doing today, so let's get to it. Now it's true that science and spirituality are somewhat overlapping lately, with science eventually catching up to some of the stuff that the mystics have known for centuries. But it seems that a lot of the time, especially in my personal research, that there's a lot of overlaps between different aspects of the paranormal. And this last few months I've seen many more overlaps with my work with the ghosts, spirituality, and aliens. I know, right? Yep, I went there. So I'll explain myself before you think I've gone off on some mad tangent that's got absolutely nothing to do with the current content that I've been putting out. So there is a link, other than it being another aspect of the paranormal, so just bear with us and we'll get there. So the link that I'm claiming today with these at first seemingly totally different subject is to do with consciousness and frequency. Alright, now I know a lot of the time I bang on about consciousness and how it affects everything, especially affects everything when you talk in terms of the paranormal and different dimensions, and talking to this ghost and talking to that ghost, manifesting reality and the occult and all this. So it's all very much interlinked. If we can all accept that ghosts and spirits and various entities exist on different frequencies, in different dimensions, with a different perspective to ourselves, that we can't really perceive with our own 3D senses that we've got, because obviously we only use those to experience our 3D Earth. So anything outside of that realm is pretty hard to perceive, if not possible at all. And if we can also accept that at times, there are times when we can actually sense or perceive or see or whatever, either due to the thinning of the veil somehow, or these entities actually adjusting their frequency sufficient enough to either contact or have some interaction with our dimension. Okay, still following? Good. Now, presuming that another species or an alien race was visiting us from a galaxy far away, or they could be from Earth originally, and they're just ancient long lost ancestors. I'm talking to you, Shadow Men. Now these things would have to have travelled many times faster than the speed of light to even get here, with any particular time where once they got here they would not be dead or have any time to do anything at all, right? Or even if they didn't have to travel anywhere and they were already here, to be able to stay hidden for all these thousands of years. Both of these things would mean that you would have to be a very advanced race, okay? Fuck off. Fucking ice cream, man. Are you joking me? Anybody want an ice cream? I mean, you know, don't mind me. Actually, I do have an ice cream. I'm gonna go 99.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Right. Anyway, where was I? So yeah, both of these things, either travelling faster than the speed of light or staying hidden for thousands and thousands of years as a civilization that's possibly already existed on Earth and is actually our ancient ancestors. I'm talking about things like the Atlanteans and whatnot. Yes, I'm going to be getting into these in further videos because it's all part of our history, and it's all part of occult wisdom, and it's all absolutely amazing, interesting as fuck, and we're going to just get to it. So either one of these things would mean that you would have to have some kind of an ability to manipulate space or be able to phase shift in and out of it at will, which is something that you're going to have to be pretty advanced to be able to do. Now in my mind, the only way that you can explain that any species will be able to do either of these things, shifting in and out of one reality to the next, would mean that you would have to have some kind of ability to adjust your own frequency, which was, you know, the vibration on which they exist on, to be able to move in and out of different realities. So then it would also make sense that any species that was able to do this, adjusting the vibration, must also have a massive degree of understanding about their own consciousness and how that affects themselves, everything around them, and also their links between other species on a conscious level, in sort of a universal one mind, one consciousness kind of thing. So if this is the case, if these entities, if there's other species or different race from wherever they come from, are that tuned into their own consciousness and the consciousness of the universe and the one conscious mind, which a lot of people agree on, then surely some of us who are also in tune with it to some certain degree will then be able to tap into this and to actually reach out and communicate with them as well. Now, whether we'll do this through meditation, remote viewing, astral projection, intention setting, we've got to work out which is the best for that. Either one of those things surely will have an effect, and surely these entities will be able to pick up on them. Right. And now next door's dog's going, do you know what? It's every time, whenever you turn this camera on, everyone in the world decides to start shouting outside. The dogs start barking next door, the birds start slapping into the windows, bombs are dropping, well maybe not bombs are dropping, but you know what I mean. It's almost like the know when you're doing this shit. Like, I love dogs, I'm a massive dog lover, I absolutely love them, they're amazing, they're better than people. But that dog next door, I swear to God, never shuts up. And I could just, I love dogs, let's just leave it at that. But I digress. So, now I'm not saying that ghosts, angels and demons and other entities are the same beings as aliens. Of course they're not. Although some of them might be. But what I am saying is a super advanced species is able to manipulate frequencies in their own consciousness and shift between dimensions, may possibly operate in the same dimensions as some of these other entities, demons, ghosts, that we're used to experiencing here on Earth. So what's to say then, if we think about that perspective, that aliens don't already interact with demons, angels, ghosts? You know, who's to say that they aren't able to observe our dead, spirits of the dead walking around going about the daily business? You see, why I think this is, you see, from their perspective, if they're looking at your house, okay, it's not like they see just the house. This is just a way of putting it. It might be a bit easier to understand. So if they're looking at your house, all the walls are made of glass and they can see everything that's going on in the house at the same time. They can see everybody in every room, they know where everybody is, they can see the bigger picture because they're seeing it from a different perspective, from a higher dimension. Whereas if you were in the house, obviously you could only perceive the room that you were in, and the only people that you would know that were there, unless you could hear them, would be the people that were in the same room with you. Got it? Good. So then, while I was wandering down this particular rabbit hole, I've came across this particular fellow who seems to share at least some of my thoughts on this subject. Now, you've most probably heard of him because he's very famous, and this guy's been doing this kind of research for most of his life. He's got various documentaries and movies made about him, and he's been read into many secret meetings with the governments of the world based on UFO, ufology and all this carry on. And he hosts what was it called? And he hosts the Disclosure Project and all of the meetings to do with that. He's obviously well invested. This is his life. So this guy's name's Stephen Greer. Super good guy. Knows a lot of stuff. Presents some brilliant stuff on the internet. If you're not familiar with this guy, I'll stick links to his YouTube down there. Check him out. It's very interesting. You know, whether or not you believe it or not, it's just something interesting to watch and some more knowledge to put in there and decipher whether or not you think it's legit or not. Now, some of the things that this guy talks about, specifically, where he talks about these off-world entities and their ability to have a high level of consciousness, to tap into universal consciousness and be aware of all the other life forms and all their energy and their consciousnesses as well. In fact, this has become a major part of his research by the look of the information that I'm seeing on the internet now, where they're actually manipulating their own consciousnesses to be able to reach out and speak to these things. In fact, he actually claims that through various meditations and energy work that he's actually able to summon these aliens at will and direct them exactly to where he is. Seems absolutely amazing, right? I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think that this is a possibility? Does this make any sense to you? I mean, wow, right? Imagine having the ability to summon an alien or a fleet of aliens wherever you are in the world, tell them exactly where you are and for them to turn up. I mean, if this is legit, if this is, and I don't see any reason why not, considering some of the things that I do with consciousness, and some of the entities that I speak to with consciousness, I don't see why it would be any different to an entity that isn't necessarily from Earth, or who was from Earth and it was an ancient civilization, blah 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 blah. Seems completely legit to me. Now there's loads of actual footage on YouTube and on his own site about Stephen and his group actually doing that. There's one instance where they're on a beach somewhere, don't know exactly what beach it is. There's a bunch of them sitting around on chairs. It looks like they've been in a circle, probably meditating, doing energy work and whatnot. And then on the horizon behind them, you see some golden lights sort of pop up. At first they look like flares. I mean, you tell me what your opinion on that is. Do you think the flares? So these lights come up behind them, and they're all like, oh my god, they've actually turned up just when we've decided to ask them to come and all this. And it's all lovely, it's all emotional. And then another one turns up beside it, boom. And then they're kind of hovering for quite a while, and Stephen's pointing at it with his laser pen and all this. Massively interesting stuff, you know, absolutely unbelievable. He's telling them to, you know, send them love, to send them, you know, the love of humanity and your energy, and welcome them in, and they might kind of come closer, sort of thing. Great stuff. Now obviously we don't know if it's legit or not, simply because we weren't there to experience it ourselves. This is the case with loads of stuff. I mean, this is the case with stuff that I post on. You weren't there with me, so you don't know if it's legit or not. You're just taking the person's word for it, or the group of people's word for it. Alright, it's just one of them things. This is why in later months I'm going to be inviting people down to do it with us, so that you can testify whether or not you had an experience or not. But you see, for somebody like Stephen to spend the majority of his life studying this kind of thing, you know, to put so much effort into it, so much emotion into it, all of his energy into it, for this to all just be some kind of an elaborate hoax, that seems a little bit far-fetched for me. You know, why nobody would put that much effort into a massive hoax? You know, even if you were going to make millions and millions of it, I don't know, I just can't see anybody putting this much effort into something and spending the whole life in a hoax. What do you think? What are your thoughts on? Right, so with that said, get to the point, Alex. Tangent man does it again. But to get to the point, I'm going to be throwing out some content around the UFO subject. Simply because it is another aspect of the paranormal. It does have a link to consciousness and all the other stuff that we're doing. All of this is interlinked. And I'm hoping at some point in my YouTube career, it's going to come to a head where everything joins up and comes to one conclusion. And then we kind of meet that one unified conclusion. And then we just work out what the hell's going on. That will be amazing, wouldn't it? So just to assure you, this is going to be extra content. It's not going to be instead of my current content. Obviously, I'm still going to be going out and doing paranormal investigations. I'm still going to be doing live streams. Still going to be doing occult practices, how-to videos, Q&A sessions and all that. That's all still going to be happening. This is just going to be additional content. So what that means is, the good news is for you, is I'm going to be putting out 3 videos a week. Minimum 2, 3. If it just depends how many nights I can stay up all night and edit until my eyes fall out. It would just seem absolutely crazy and quite frankly just quite lazy for me not to cover these other aspects of the paranormal. I mean, yes, this main thing is focused on, you know, paranormal investigations, which is a massive subject in itself, but there's so much other stuff going on. I would feel like I'd be robbing you of content if I didn't make some stuff around with the subject matter as well. And just put it out there, because I really want to know what you lot think about it. You know, your interaction is key, as I always say here. So, you know, let me know what you think about me doing extra videos about UFOs, other things in the paranormal. There's just so much content we could cover, such a broad spectrum. So let me know. You know, if you don't like the idea, then yes, we can focus just investigations and whatnot. So, you know, I only want to make content that you guys actually want to see. So that was it really, guys. I just wanted to catch up with you and just let you know where I'm headed, what to expect from the future of this channel. So there's going to be some varied stuff coming up now, so it's going to be really good. Looking outside, Celtic breeze, it's raining and it's windy. British summertime is back again, guys, it's amazing. The forecast is that this actually goes away shortly. As soon as it goes away, I'll be charging the batteries up, getting packed up, going into the woods. I'm going to do an experiment to see if I can make a certain area of the woods haunted. I know, we can do this, it is possible we can do this. It's going to be a little bit of experiment. I'm going to take you guys, show you what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. And then we're going to go back at the end of the week and see if it worked. See if there's any change with the particular area that I choose to do it in. See if we can pick anything up. Sounds crazy, it probably is, but this is the only true way to investigate things and find out the truth. Okay, so that's what we're doing. Yeah. So as always, folks, if you're already a subscriber, thank you very much for coming back. It means the world to me. The channel is growing nicely. We're getting a beautiful community. Everyone's commenting, and the majority of it's intelligent comments. Either on YouTube, TikTok community is going strong as well with the live streams. Lots of them coming up soon. I'm going to be doing more of those as well. I know I've been promising live streams more than one a week, but quite frankly, guys, there's a lot of work to do, and to be honest, there's a lot of nights where I've just fell asleep in front of my computer, and I fell asleep editing, or I fell asleep shooting, or I fell asleep doing other work, and then I wake up and I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be doing a live stream, and then it's like 4 AM, and I'm like, oh, I've got stuff to do the next day. I've got like real life that gets in the way, because I don't get paid for this just yet, folks. So just bear with us while I get as much content out as I possibly can. So if you're already a subscriber, thanks very much. And if you like this kind of content and the content that I've said that I'm going to be doing in the very near future, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my future content. It really helps me out, guys. Throw me a like. Put a comment down the bottom there. It honestly, little things like that really help, especially with a new channel like this. It just helps me get picked up by the YouTube algorithm. It helps me rank in the suggested videos, and then we can get more people joining the community. More opinions, and it just inspires me to make more content. So it's all good, and just a good way to grow the channel as fast as we possibly can. So that's it, guys. I'm going to get myself all packed up and ready to go. Hopefully I'll see you guys on the live stream soon. If you're not already following me on TikTok, it's just Alex Alchemist on TikTok. Jump on there, and then you'll see whenever I'm doing a live stream. If you just jump in, we'll have a bit of chat. There's usually a bunch of lovely people that are in there, and we'll just talk about everything and anything. Doesn't always have to be paranormal, but it normally does end up getting a little bit spooky at some point. So that's enough jibber jabber from me. Thanks very much for watching. As always, sending you gratitude, peace and love. See you next time. Bye.